Hey guys, so I've been using the iPad Air now for about a month, so let's talk about it. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the iPad Air has a 10.9-inch liquid retina display. So it's the same display that we see on the iPhone 11 and XR. Now, could Apple potentially change this up in the future? Yes, 100%, but right now, that's what we're working with. We're working with a really great colored display. Personally, the screen size, 10.9 inches. Personally, this is big enough for me, and I also have an iPhone 12 Pro Max, so going between my iPhone and my iPad, I'd never find myself needing more screen real estate. Now, between the 11-inch iPad Pro, does it make sense to spend that money? Really an upgrade in my opinion? No. Because this does have the A14 Bionic processor, while the iPad Pro has the A12X Bionic processor. So, personally, Apple hasn't really told us what the difference is, except for the fact that this one came out after the fact, so you could assume that it's newer, obviously. So, Touch ID is built into the power button. So, if you look at the power button, I don't know if it'll focus, but if you look at the power button, it is a lot longer than it has been on previous iPads, which personally, I'm okay with. Like, I love having Touch ID in the power button, because all you have to do is just rest your finger, and it opens right up, which is so cool, because I can't tell you the amount of times I wish my iPhone would do this, because if I'm wearing a mask, like, 95% of the time it'll unlock, but if I would just be able to press the power button or like press my finger on the screen, that would be great. I'm sorry, like that would just be so great to have. So now, this iPad does come with 64 gigs or 256 gigs of storage. So now, with the Pro, you do get more storage, and if you really do want to splurge some money for the Pro, which does have a similar chip inside of the A12X, you could do that, and you would gain a camera and a LiDAR scanner, but again, I have both of them on my iPhone, and I don't know any time where I would be taking photos with my iPad. So there is that. Now, this does just have a 12 megapixel wide camera on the back, while the Pro does have a 12 megapixel wide and telephoto, and ultra wide and wide camera, that is. And it does have a 7 megapixel camera on the front, which from what I've seen on FaceTime calls, it is fine. It is, while like my phone again does have a better one, and so does my Mac. Personally, for what I'm using it for, it is great. Everyone can see me fine. It's no like blurry or choppy. Although I don't really understand why Apple hasn't upgraded any FaceTime cameras recently, because personally, I think they make the back ones have so much more megapixels than the front, which I get the front is just such a small area to do it on. But I was gonna say, the speakers sound great on this, as well as the screen, just looking at it to watch like media or whatever. It's so nice. And the battery life is so great as well, because I've plugged this in maybe 10 times since I've gotten it a month ago, and I love the fact that I don't have to plug it in every day. And now it does charge via USB-C, so if you do have a newer MacBook, or you are getting like a newer iPhone that has the USB-C to Lightning cable, you can actually plug that right into your iPad, which is so cool. Because I've actually used my iPad as a portable charger for my iPhone, but I've needed to, so I've done it. It's as simple as that for me. And that is pretty cool that I can just plug a USB-C cable right into the bottom of the iPad and then plug it into my phone or whatever else it needs to be. So also with USB-C now, you do get the basically access to every other USB-C accessory that there is that Apple has. So you get access to their dongles, the HDMI out ports, and everything. Like, this USB-C port can do so much more, especially if you get the Magic Keyboard with the trackpad in it. You can mount the iPad on there and use the trackpad and keyboard, and then have two USB-C ports, the one in the iPad and the one in the case, which honestly is so nice to do that, because now, while I personally don't have the Magic Keyboard, I just have the Smart Folio case, and personally that's fine for me. So the Smart Folio case, it just magnetically snaps on the iPad, and then it covers the screen and the back, but it does leave the sides exposed, which personally I'm fine with that, because it allows you to keep your Apple Pencil connected if you do get one, and it also allows for like fine charging and speaker output, and Touch ID access while in the case, and you don't have to take it out, because like some cases I know you do have to take it out with. And when you open it up, it actually will wake up your iPad, and then you just Touch ID and you're right in, which is so cool to see that Apple allowed it to have the wake sleep, because if you just go boop, it's opened up. So that's so cool, because I can't tell you the amount of times I'm like, oh, and I'll just look at it and be like, oh, I need to charge it, or oh, I have a lot of notifications, let me look at that, or whatever it may be. So then iPad OS 14 is pretty cool as well. It does share a lot of features from iOS 14, while it does advance the iPad with some other features. So it allows you to have widgets on your home screen, just like it does with iOS. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of this Today view, because I have my three most important widgets there, which is battery, calendar, and weather, and that's so nice to see them and just be like, oh, look, I have this on my calendar for today, and then if you just scroll down, you can see all your other widgets. So iPad OS can fully handle everything you throw at it, and even Sidecar, this is Sidecar compatible with a Mac, and it's so nice to have that extra screen, even though the screen is only 10.9 inches when comparing it to the like Mac size, whether you have a 13-inch, a 15-inch, a 16-inch, like, it is so different, but it's so nice to just be able to go and like quickly use your iPad as an extra screen when you need to. So personally, I don't regret getting this iPad, because, well, A, it was cheaper than the Pro, and B, everything in this is great. You get a great bang for your buck overall. So that's where I stand with this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.